Outlaw Wrestling fans! I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. Despite a venue change, hold that thought. Now, as I was saying, despite a venue change, and we had quite a crowd, a bigger crowd compared to the July 30th show at the Queens Brewery. I wonder if any of those fans were from the Williamsburg area that made the trip over there. But I wish for future brewery shows there were actual chairs rather than those picnic benches with the picnic table, the benches attached, because it's got to lean my back against, and they're kind of hard on the backside to sit. But nonetheless, the night, Pat of the Boulevard Bullies, he announced to the crowd that the sound man had yet to show up, and and that's what stopped delayed the show from starting on time. By the time I actually got to the building, I get there, they had already let the crowd in, and Grim Reaper sees me out there, as well as a certain wrestler from Brooklyn, New York, known as Bull James. Bull James. But it was supposed to be the first ever Outlaw Rumble, but I don't know if it was due to the delay of the start time being delayed. It ended up a battle royal where the winner would challenge the notorious 187 Homicide later in the show for the heavyweight championship. Among the participants in this battle royal were Andrew Anderson, The Audacity, Man Bun Jesus, Mr. Main Event Salvatore Savelli, Sage Chance, Encore, Dominic De Niro, Ray Jazz, Orion Dove, and a few other guys I didn't recognize. Oh, I forgot, the last two to be introduced were The Righteous, Dutch and Vincent of Ring of Honor fame. Pretty good battle royal to start out, which was won by Crowbar as he last eliminated Vincent. Ugh. And as a result, he got the opportunity to challenge Homicide later in the show for the heavyweight championship. Second match of the show, we had Dominic De Niro going one-on-one with Encore. Pretty good matchup, and man, this was a very good matchup, which ultimately saw Encore defeat Dominic De Niro to pick up the win. I believe, I'm not sure if it was right after this match, but out came Notorious 187 Homicide and the founder of Outlaw Wrestling, a certain wrestler from Brooklyn, New York, known as Bull James. Bull James. And they came to the ring and said that, Outlaw Wrestling was created to help further the legacy of many wrestlers like the franchise Shane Douglas, Scotty 2 Hotty, and then Bull proceeded to say, and many others who I can't remember because I don't have my phone on me right now. Pardon me. And Bull announced to the crowd that Outlaw Wrestling will be debuting at the Melrose Ballroom in February 2023. No date has been announced, but already announced to appear on that show are the Road Dogg Jesse James and the badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws. Don't know if they'll be wrestling, but I sure hope that show will be held on a Friday night or a Saturday night, because under normal circumstances, it's tough for me to make a Thursday night show with work and all. If I wasn't on vacation time right now, I wouldn't have made this particular show I'm reviewing right now. Now, again, I don't know if that was right after that matchup or after this matchup when Bull made that announcement. Whew. But our third matchup of the night, we see Mr. Main Event, Salvatore Savelli, go one-on-one with the Man Bun Jesus, accompanied by the Groovy Grizzlies. And Savelli attacked all three of them, three Grizzlies that were standing on the apron. Just the match was getting underway, and eventually the Man Bun eventually noticed that after the fact, and I can't remember how the match ended, but I do remember Man Bun nailed Savelli with the old Dino Bravo move. Not too many wrestling fans would know or even remember who Dino Bravo was. But Man Bun Jesus picked up the win over Mr. Main Event, Salvatore Savelli. Next up, we had a six-man tag team action, as we saw Main Event ring master or ring leader Midas and I forgot his partner's name. They're from House of Glory, as they teamed up with former WWE Tag Team Champion and Light Heavyweight Champion Scotty 2 Hotty, as they did battle with Seth and Michael Cortez, the Audacity, and the Reinforcer Andrew Anderson. Pretty much a six-man tag team match, and very fun match. And I don't know if there was a lot of stalling in this one, but I have to honestly say this: Scotty 2 Hotty, he can still deliver. He didn't phone this in, mail it in. This was very he wasn't just there to be there. I'll just say that. But eventually the crowd was really into this matchup, which saw Scotty 2 Hotty in Main Event defeat the Audacity and Andrew Anderson. Eventually, after the match, Scotty took the microphone and he said, even though he got released as a coach in WWE late last year, I forgot what else he said, but he said he's wrestled on every continent except Antarctica. Yet. I forgot what else he said, but not surprisingly, they went to intermission after that. And good thing I chose to go. It was kind of warm in the place too, by the way. Okay. Yeah. I had a feeling they were going to go to intermission. It's a good thing I went to the bathroom to get some, pour some cold water all over me. And then when I came out, I was coming back to where I was sitting. At that point, they said, "Oh, we're going to take an intermission." And I think it was great timing, if you ask me. But they went to intermission at that point. The show resumed with women's action as we see JC Storm take on Tina San Antonio. I didn't quite recognize the song Tina came out to. I didn't recognize what Bull James had come out to. I still don't know what that is. What Bull comes out to. Tina San Antonio is victorious over JC Storm in this matchup. Next, in singles competition, we saw El Principal Antonio. I apologize for not getting his last name, as he went one-on-one with Ray Jazz, accompanied to the ring by Orion Dove. And I forgot to mention Orion. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but Orion Dove and Ray Jazz were in the Battle Royal to start the show. I think eventually Dove got ejected by the referee, and at one point I think the referee was in the corner, and Ray Jazz, back kicked Antonio in the balls and pinned him to win the match. Next matchup, that actually was main event time, as Crowbar challenged the Notorious 187 Homicide for the Heavyweight Championship. On paper, this ended up a match. Just on paper alone, it's a Matt classic. Two men who've been around before independent wrestling was cool, before independent wrestling reached the plateau that it's on today. I don't know if you want to talk to me right now. Sorry there. Fuck. Crowbar Homicide gets underway. Eventually they go over the rail and they're right by the Yeah, they're right by the rail. They go over the rail. They go to the table I'm at, and Homicide stood up on the table. I don't know what he was planning to do, but all of a sudden Andrew Anderson attacks, and he and Homicide come back to the ring. The Audacity come out. I forgot how, but somebody bumped into the referee in the corner, and after numerous attempts, numerous interference by Anderson, by the Audacity, Homicide kept kicking out. At one point, the referee counted 3, and he caught, I think, Andrew Anderson holding on to Crowbar from the outside. But eventually, damn. I think it happened again where Crowbar used the ropes and the referee made a 3 count. Crowbar became the new Outlaw Wrestling Heavyweight Champion. After the match, Edison and the Audacity, I believe they attacked, and Crowbar attacked Homicide and they stand over him. I guess they formed a group. I don't know what the name is, but maybe they formed a group at Outlaw Wrestling. And after they left the ring, Homicide thanked the crowd for the support, and I forgot what else he said. But definitely one great night of action, despite having it change the venue, despite starting a bit, not starting on time, and a few other things. But it's on the personal notes. It was great seeing. Jason Bob 87, William, who was in the light blue shirt. There was who else do I remember? I saw there. Blah blah blah. Wow, what is he? I think Bull Janus had the Grim Reaper. Who else I remember? I don't know anybody else in the crowd I know was there. Ooh. Alright. Well, I guess time for some memorable quotes. Who the fuck needs a ring bell? Pat, who ring announced the show after the Battle Royal was over. Oh, by the way, it's safe to say Outlaw Wrestling had a 2 club. Robert Lottie, I'll start with you. Sal Savelli during his match with Man Bun Jesus. And Man Bun even noticed me, I think right before the match started. This must be New York City, motherfuckers. Scotty Too Hottie, when he was like teasing, got tagged into the 6-man tag team match, and he was teasing taking off his vest, and the crowd go, whoa, as he's teasing taking off his vest, whoa, and he stops, and he said that. Refs are cops! Refs are cops! Refs are cops! The crowd at this poor referee, not Ozzy, the other referee, that was during the 6-man tag, by the way. There's dog food on there. This guy sitting right in front of me at the table when Homicide used one of the floor mats, brought them into play, and was hitting Crowbar with it. Well, I sensed it was. I could see it was. It looked like it was like worn out, dirty, and looked like it had a bit of a rip or a tear in it. Well, Outlaw Wrestling will have a show tomorrow night, Friday, August 19th, from Rockaway, St. Camillus, on Beach 99th Street in Rockaway, near Rockaway Park, Rockaway Beach. Not sure the precise name of that area in Queens. Well, seeing that Crowbar is the new champion, I don't know what this does for Friday's show, because it was going to be Homicide defending the championship against Encore, unless that match still happens, but obviously not for the championship. I know Outlaw Wrestling, I know in the past you did like a women's show. I don't know if you'll ever think of doing that again or having a women's championship. And hopefully someday you'll have a tag team championship. And also, I know. Oh, by the way, actually, also Outlaw will have a show from St. Patrick's in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, this Saturday, August 20th. And they'll be at the, I forgot the name of the place. I'm not even going to be there. It's happening this Sunday, August 21st, from Bayshore, Long Island. But I hope, and also they will return to Williamsburg Thursday, September 22nd. Unfortunately, I'm not going to make that show because, I'll be back at work by that time, and it'll be tough waking up early the next day. But I hope in the future, Outlaw Wrestling, you can have shows in Williamsburg, the Queen's Brewery, and Bayshore on Friday nights or Saturday nights. Because, with football season on the horizon, I'm not going to do Sunday shows for any promotion. And, great to see you're going to be at the Melrose Ballroom in February. Of course, the date's not announced yet. I gotta say, there were a lot of good-looking ladies in the crowd, especially that one in the light tie-dye top that had her hair up. Look, she had some tattoos too. I think I actually walked right by her, right after the show was over, and after I walked right by her, Salvatore Savelli and Sage Chance. And Sage, you were like thrilled that I made it and stuff. And Sage, I'm glad you're back in the ring. I didn't catch you getting eliminated from the Battle Royal. So Outlaw Wrestling, chalk one up for yourselves. This was very good. Can't wait for tomorrow night, August 19th from St. Camillus. I don't know how many fans that were at the brewery tonight are going to be at St. Camillus tomorrow. It'd be great if some of them show up again, and they were quite the crowd. I think if I had if I took my megaphone out of my bag, I think the crowd would have drowned me out. So, Outlaw, 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 Outlaw Wrestling rules.